For 40 days, we've been talking about love at Crosswater, learning to love God and learning to love other people. Well, today I came across a familiar passage that I think would be appropriate. Philippians chapter 2, verses 1 through 4 says, "Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble. Thinking of others is better than yourself." That's how to love. Wow. For most of us, that pops right up in front of our eyes. Anybody listening to me ever have a problem with being selfish? Okay, now be honest. This is a passage that we all need to read almost on a daily, if not hour by hour basis. The English words speak for themselves, but let's take a deeper look at what Paul says. He says, do nothing out of selfish motives. Don't pass over the word nothing too quickly. It's the Greek word meidais, and it means not even one single thing. It's a very strong word. Paul is saying that selfishness can't even touch one single area of your life. It's not that we're just supposed to think about other people a lot. Selfishness, he says, is wrong in any situation. Literally, the word says not even once can we be selfish. Why is it? And what is it that we're supposed to avoid on every single occasion? The word selfish is the word erithia. It alludes to ambition or a sense of rivalry. It's used to describe somebody who's self-seeking or even has a feud. Ancient Greeks used to use this word to describe mercenaries who were just hired guns. They did what they did not because they were concerned about a cause. They were just hired and they did what they did solely for money and profit. They had no interest in the outcome. They just were fighting to get paid. They were just in it for selfish interest. Paul is saying that our motives for what we do are as important as what we do. Why do you do the things you do? Is it because of personal ambition, to get ahead, or to gain attention? For Paul, there simply is no room for selfish and personal ambition in the Christian life. You remember John the Baptist said this, referring to Jesus in John 3:30. He, Jesus, must be greater and greater, and I must become less and less. In other words, it ain't about me, it's about him. So often in Christian circles, we get on personal agendas. In Philippians, he said, don't even try to impress others. The word is kenodoxia. The word doxia you may have heard before. It's the word we get doxology from, and it means song of praise. So Paul is saying, don't try to get people to sing your praises. Don't work for cheap pride or affirmation from others. Most of us live in a state of insecurity, and we're always wanting and needing people to affirm us and tell us how important we are. Paul says you shouldn't waste your time in trying to gain that from people, because our worth does not come from what other people say. It comes from who we are in Jesus Christ. When it comes to other people, I'm to have a spirit of humility. That word just means to have an honest opinion of myself. It means I'm not to compare myself to others. I'm always just to look at Jesus. Nobody's ego can be pumped up when their eyes are on Jesus, because we never match up to him. Yet in him we find our true worth, not in ourselves. We're to look at others as being more important than ourselves. The word means to esteem them higher than we esteem ourselves. It implies that we're to give them preference or priority in our life. All right, let's put that in a practical day-to-day basis. If you have a spouse or a business partner or a coworker who comes first in your mind, you or them? Most couples fight over control. Most relationships fight over control. Paul said, give them the preference over yourselves. Just think, if that one Bible verse were taken seriously, 90% of relationship problems in the world would vanish. Where do you want to eat? What do you want to do? How do you want to spend our time or money? What do you want to do tonight? Who takes preference? Wow. This is where the rubber meets the road. It takes Jesus in your heart to kill that selfishness and put others and their needs above yours. Think about it. No one is a threat to a self that has been dead and nailed to a cross. Here's a great thought for today. Spell the word joy, J-O-Y, and make an acrostic for Jesus first, others second, and yourself last. Let's finish with this prayer today. God, help me not to be selfish and to seek to get my own way or to gain all the attention. Help me to be considerate and to put others ahead of myself. God bless you today.